Okay. Well, listen, so now we're going to talk with Kevin Wilson, who is our Director of Community Engagement. Kevin, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Brad. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Listen, I understand you have a new webinar series that you put together. What can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. Well, as you know, and as so many of our clients know, we have been developing this webinar series since way back in March when the world sort of went sideways. One of the things that we pivoted and tried to figure out how to stay relevant and keep servicing our clients is we took a look at a lot of the legislation that was coming out of Washington. We looked at some of the changes and how people are able to operate, and we tried to provide these daily webinars. Well, what we learned was there was really a big appetite out there in the community for folks to check in on other industries and see how other business leaders were running their show. And so from there, we developed this new program where we're trying to provide insights into both sort of the changing nature of work and the change of culture around work. And that's been just really hitting a chord with everybody out there. And so that's really where this new series has come from.
Cool, very cool. Well, 2020, if anything, has been a rapid change in work in the way that we go about work. I see it's called The Beacon. That's a wonderful name. What can you tell us about that? What's the meaning? Is there some meaning behind that?
Yeah, as we sat there and we tried to come up with a name that would be, both expressive, but also sort of capture the vibe of what we're trying to do. The Beacon really became the obvious choice when what we want to do is provide sort of insights. We want to illuminate, some of the changing landscape that's out there in the business community. But also there's sort of a safety and a camaraderie in the stories that we're trying to tell. And I know that a lot of small business owners out there feel like they're going it alone. And the last thing we want, for our clients or for anybody out there in the small business community, is to feel like maybe they're about to crash into the shore, or that they're going it alone. And so we're trying to share stories from folks that maybe you don't always, have access to or don't get to have in the room with you. And, from learning how they're navigating these changing, these challenging times, from there, hopefully folks will be able to, help navigate their own difficult waters.
Right. It's comforting to find that there are others out there and that there's others who have perhaps made it to shore, if you will, to follow the metaphor a little bit.
Sure.
Certainly. Well, that sounds great. Tell us, where and when can people find you?
Absolutely. So we're committed to doing this every Wednesday at 11 a.m. That's 11 Eastern. My colleague Leslie Bruno and I are working on this program. She's going to be rolling in some of her HR Matters topics, so personnel focus, company culture focus, that sort of thing. And then all the news related to running businesses and stories from the business community are going to be on the Beacon. And again, to reiterate, that's Wednesdays at 11 a.m.
Great. Wednesday. We'll put it on our calendars. Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, folks. Thank you, Kevin. Great talking with you. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Take care, Brad. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.